I really absolutely adore you. And again, thank you so much for being here today. So let's just jump right in. Why don't you share with everyone who's watching, and if you watch this on replay, please do show some support for her in the comments, but share with everybody, like, what was life like for you? Where were you? What were you thinking? What was life like before you joined my 5 to Thrive program?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Lori. You've done a lot for me too. So life before 5 to Thrive, it was a little bit confusing for me. I've always been an active person, and I thought I was eating relatively healthy, and but I was just struggling a little bit. I was struggling managing my stress and struggling with a few life events, and just struggling trying to get my weight under control. And so I would say life before 5 to Thrive was a little bit confusing because part of that also incorporated trying new kind of dieting programs and just some quick fixes that never seem to work or last. And so if I could just sum it up in one word, I would just say it's a little bit confusing for me.
Yeah. And that's so common. I hear that so often because we're inundated with information on the internet. Even, the quick fixes, the skinny teas and the, fat, do this for 20 days and lose 150 pounds kind of thing. And I exaggerate there and make fun, but it is that ridiculous, right? And so we're inundated with the crazy quick fix stuff. But confusing is a really good word, I think, to use, because there's also so much information, just a lot of like nutrition information and exercise information that might not even fall in the category of quick fix, but it's just like this trying to weed through a ton of information, right? And so how do you know what to believe kind of thing, right? And of course, my phone starts ringing now. So I'm really glad that you pointed that confusion out. So from there, you enrolled, you made the decision to join and do something for yourself. So talk a little bit about, like, what was your experience like in the program and having me coach you?
So, 12 weeks you think it's going to be a long time, and it goes by like that. And so my experience in the program was that I was looking for something a little bit more sustainable and that I could take with me even after the program. And I would say that you 100% gave me that. I still have a lot of work and learning to do, but I feel like the foundation was set really well through the program. And if I could just sum it up for anybody who might be interested in the program, is it just was as simple as you told me it was going to be. And I had to put the work into it. That was one of the first conversations that you and I had. And it was like, you have to put the work into it. I will help you be accountable, but at the end of the day, it's on you. And it really was. And, the workouts were easy to follow. I was able to make them as hard or easy as I wanted to. And I enjoyed how you split up the content and only gave us a little bit to read and digest every week. So we kept building on the program itself. And so I wasn't overwhelmed in the beginning. It wasn't a lot of just massive change in the beginning. And I think that's where I kind of fell apart prior to trying your program. There were little changes, baby steps here and there, but very effective and yielded results too. So I enjoyed the whole building process of the program.
Yeah. And I love that you point that out about the nature of building it, and not going this like all in the beginning and making massive change in your life. That's just not sustainable. One thing I want to point out about you, and we haven't talked about this in a while, but I want everyone to know, I remember you coming in and doing the things, right? Like you did the behaviors, but it felt like, and this is not uncommon either, it felt like there was this like mental barrier for you at first, right? And then I just so enjoyed watching you as we engaged and got further into the program. And the more you engaged and opened yourself up to the process, it was like, I remember thinking, okay, Amanda's made that switch. Like she is now allowing herself to like be fully involved. Not that it took more time for you, but it was more of a mental switch that I saw happen. Do you feel like that happened with you?
Yeah, I remember I was messaging you just privately all the time, and you're like, Amanda, put it in the group chat, put it in the group. And I don't know why I had such a hard time um recognizing that or understanding that, but I feel like once I did and I was like, okay, I'm going to see what the group has to say. Um, it really did help me. And I think, part of my, and I'm calling it my health journey, because although like weight's a big factor in that, I think just part of my overall health journey was just really understanding other people's struggles too. And I think when you're able to like support others through what they're going through and allowing others to help you, it really just relieves a lot of the burden. And you just stop. You even told me one time, you're like, you're just stressing out about it too much, like just let it go, just follow the steps and let it go. And the scale will move and you'll feel better and it'll just all start to come into place. And I think I did. I think I just said, oh my gosh, Lori, just take the wheel. I'm not going to worry about this anymore. I mean, 100% do what you say. And it did. I feel like maybe it was like halfway through, maybe 5 weeks in, that kind of happened.
Yeah, and I distinctly remember it, and I see that pattern with a lot of, we have a hard time, and I say as these professional driven women, we have a hard time letting others help us. It, for whatever reason, we we want to control everything, right? And so I remember that point where you did like, you were accepting of the help, and you trusted the process and yourself more. And when that happened, I remember clearly that you had weeks where when you did your progress report, the scale dropped like it. And that's another thing, because and we won't go too far into this, but I know oftentimes women worry about that plateau moment, right? That time when the scale stops dropping. And for you and so many clients, I see this, once you mentally broke through that barrier that you were struggling with, and you trusted me more and you trusted the process more, the scale did follow. It did drops, consecutive weeks you saw drops. And so I'm really proud of you for doing that too, because it takes a level of vulnerability for us as strong women to sort of let down that guard and let that help in. And I saw that switch with you. And so I'm really proud of you. So what would you say, what advice would you give, or what like words of wisdom would you impart to a woman who may be out there considering this program, or maybe hesitant about the investment in herself or the time, or, just kind of pondering what to do?
Well, I think to anybody who's thinking about enrolling in the program, if you've already looked into it, you're kind of to that point already. I mean, you've probably tried all the diets, all the fads, all the workout programs, and you're obviously out there searching for something else. I know that when I was doing it and I was just looking online for the next healthy eating, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to research what, a health coach is, and that's how I came across Lori. And so I feel like if you're already researching other things, then you're there. You've already kind of made the commitment to try something new and something different that hasn't worked for you in the past. And I guess all I would say is that, we're all really busy. We all have really busy personal lives, but I feel like this program makes it so that it's not too time consuming and it's really manageable. And you can fit it in. You can fit it in if you want to make the change. And so I learned that very easily. I was like, kids in sports, really busy job, all, taking care of personal friends with their health. And I was able to fit it in. And it honestly gave me, I think, the strength to get through some of like the crazy holiday season and some other, things that came up. And it was just something for me too, that I could look forward to every week. So I think that you're already there if you're looking into it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. There are so many people out there who I know are searching for something. And like I said, it's hard sometimes for us to ask for help, but it's invaluable when you do it. And I'm just so proud of you. And I really appreciate you sharing this part of your story with everyone who's watching. And I love you dearly, and I will talk to you later. Thank you so much. Have a great day.